Hello, welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma of My Psychic One. How are you, Scorpio? I decided to do some of these live so you guys can ask some questions as we go. But I am going to start out and do a general spread for Scorpio and see where we are at. Coming right up on Mercury retrograde within a couple days. Have you been feeling the shadow at all, guys? How's that been kicking? So let's take a look here and let me know where you are in the world and what you've got going on. Come on and pop in and say hello on the chat. Like I said, I'm Karma. Let's get started, Scorpio. All right. So Hierophant, Ten of Cups, Emperor, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Swords. So moving forward with these cards, I'm seeing the Hierophant. So there's been some hard lessons that have been going on for you in the last couple weeks. It feels like you've been taking everything in and really absorbing and using intuition with the information that you've been getting. Because the Hierophant's always about, if you dissect the Hierophant card, because I'm going to talk about these majors, because you have some majors that are laid out first thing right out the gate. Immediately we have the Hierophant, okay? Then we have the Ten of Cups, which is balance. And the Hierophant, if you break it down, is always about the person, or like I always call it Oz, the machinations, the programs, the things that are going on inside our head. It's religion, it's culture, it's all of the things that have a tendency to drag us along on a belief system, okay? It might also reference education. It also references those life lessons. So as it's sitting in the very primary section of the leader of the deck and the leader of the reading and spreading out further, I'm seeing the Hierophant being all about, you learning the lessons that you have going on. Okay, so you're paying attention to the finer details. And I tell you that because you have the High Priestess. So that tells me that you're looking deeper into all of the elements that are playing in your life right now. And I'm seeing that you have this sense of leadership coming out of it because you have the Emperor card, which tells me that you're coming into starting to play with taking on some leadership and make some decisions. Let me just double check. I'm not seeing anybody on here. So I'm a little distracted. Hold on. I want to make sure. All right. So anyways, the Emperor is referencing leadership. So as you're moving forward with all of this information, you've made a determination that you don't want to repeat prior lessons. You have the Hierophant here, which means lessons and education and truth and religion and all the things that run you. Okay. So as you're paying attention to the things that run you, as you're paying attention to the why that you're doing things, you're starting to intuitively notice whether or not they serve you, and you're starting to bring them into balance with your inner self. I see the Ace of Swords as a result, which is all about decision making. So moving forward, Kerwin Ray, one of my favorite life coaches and public speakers, he's one of those ball busters that jump in and drop the F-bomb, and he'll tell you, what the fuck are you doing? And he's just like the kind of guy that can shake you up and get you started and really get your engine running. But one of the things that I love that he says is disgust is an amazing motivator. Like one day you wake up disgusted with a situation, disgusted with a relationship, disgusted with your financial situation, disgusted with, your moods. Like maybe you're depressed and you finally wake up and say, I've had enough. And you're like, fuck it. And so he said disgust is one of the best motivators that he's seen. It's when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired that you start to make some moves. So because of all of this background information and background knowledge, education and whatever, I'm seeing that you have these new modalities that you want to choose, and you want to make sure that you are moving forward. And so you're taking a slow step. You're being careful with your contracts. You're being careful with your agreements. Then you have the Page of Wands, which references learning. So everything that you're learning moving forward, you're making sure that you're collecting the data and saving details. I do see the King of Coins, so money is desperately on your mind, especially because the Ten of Swords right behind it is giving the impression that you're feeling locked in. So maybe you've made some financial commitments that you didn't feel as if you can get out of, or maybe you've made some, or you're feeling stuck in whatever way. Ace of Wands, the Magician. So definitely you're going to take things slow. It's like, feels, you know, that expression, fools rush in, right? So from what I'm seeing, it's telling me that you're kind of thinking that you don't want to repeat that. You want to make sure that you collect enough information before you go jumping in and making decisions like you had before in the past. And so as you go forward, you're making sure that it is absolutely structured in a way that's going to benefit you and that you're not rushing in. I am seeing the Hangman here. So even though you're feeling frustrated, don't be so in a hurry to make decisions. It's saying to keep your circle small. I'm seeing the Three of Cups, which tells me that you don't really want to invite new people into your environment, that you want to make sure that your circle is strong enough before you broaden it out because you've been burned in the past. I'm also seeing the Magician for you, Scorpio. It's telling me that you have it's time for you to start stepping into leadership in many more ways besides just making decisions without having to consult other individuals. I'm seeing the Emperor here, which means that you have to move forward. An Emperor is a conqueror, unlike the Empress, who is all about like home and protection and secrets and taking care of family and taking care of self. I am seeing the Magician here, which says that it's time for you to take center stage. So in addition to taking forward leadership, you're expected to use the skills and the skill set that you've been given and actually start paying attention to your next phases in leadership, okay? And so you're going to actually have to take center stage when it comes to that. So I'm also seeing too the Hermit here, which tells us that it's absolutely imperative that you take your own advice. It's not time for you to listen to other people, to take in input, or to be paying attention to your information that other people feel is valuable to you. So I'm getting a text here saying that I am not public. It's saying public. All right. So anyway, like I said, I'm just going to move forward and then publish it later, and you can see it. If you can't, that's fine. Right now, I'll just keep moving forward because it's too distracting. But anyways, I am seeing, like I said, the Three of Cups and the Magician. So if you're uncomfortable being on stage, or if you're uncomfortable being in the public eye, just remember these are skill sets, and these are different. These are elements that you haven't been using for other people. So as you're using these, it's just something you haven't been exposing to the public before, and that's what's making you uncomfortable. You have the Page of Wands in there, so it's telling me that you're having to really gather information and study. So maybe if you're you're really good at astrology and you want to do some astrology readings, you're doing the study required in order to make sure that you have your ducks in a row, so to speak. So anyway, Ace of Wands and the Magician are pretty much the same card. If you notice, the Ace of Wands has all of the elements necessary. So here's what's true. It's time for you to garner some courage and get your shit handled and take care of what you got to handle. Because the Magician is on the stage, and the Ace of Wands is all about you having all of the requirements necessary. So if you're cutting yourself short and you're paying attention to the little minutia, just know that it's go time for you. The Devil card is having a play. So as I'm talking about the Devil card, this always is referencing a few things. Three primary ones that I'd like to talk about. If someone's lying to you, or you're lying to yourself. Secondly, it has to do with habits. So things that aren't serving you, or things that you're entangled with, or maybe fighting, right? With a partner, with a coworker, or with whatever. The other thing is it usually references addiction. So if you're dealing with some substance abuse or substance use, bad habits, or someone lying to you, these are definitely things that you don't want to repeat. So I am going to pull some cards from Divination of the Ancients for you. Let's see. No, actually, we got to do your relationship stuff. See, I don't like being distracted. All right. So right here, this is your relationship energy. Let's take a look and see what Scorpio has going on relationship-wise. So relationship-wise, so here's the other thing with relationships. You're definitely taking the temperature of individuals that are in your life. You are looking at how they're showing up and what they're doing. You're looking at the Fool card, opportunities, crossroads, trying to see exactly how people are playing in your life and what it is that you want for them to do for you. So if you look at the card here as being a crossroads, I always say that this is you having the scarecrow from Wizard of Oz, so to speak. You are at a crossroads, not necessarily making a decision, but you're sitting there like really observing the options that are in front of you. Because again, I'm going to go back to what Kerwin Ray said, disgust. I have the Nine of Cups. You're overwhelmed to such a point where you're sick of it. And then I'm seeing the Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. I don't know if you have been looking at your partners and kind of just analyzing everything. I'm seeing the Six of Wands, which means victory though. So as you're sitting on this crossroads, it's telling me the Nine of Cups has got you really just overwhelmed by all these things that you have to look at. I wouldn't cut any corners if I were you and stop being sneaky, because I see Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords, which tells me that you are either snooping on your partner or looking at bad habits, like maybe you're looking up your ex, or maybe you're snooping on your partner, or maybe you have some insecurities going on because you have these two cards that reference like kind of going about things the wrong way. I'm also seeing the Three of Cups, so you've had some celebration that you've been playing with lately. Definitely some insomnia going on. Now remember, I can't do a reading for all Scorpio's relationships as a whole, but I will tell you that you are defensive. Definitely not getting sleep or restless sleep, or you're having like dreams that are keeping you awake, or you're staying in bed laying there thinking of all the things that are going on with your relationships and feeling completely overwhelmed. I do see the Moon card, so you're operating from a place of fear. Okay, so fear is scarcity mentality. Remember, when we let our individuals be their full expressive selves and we don't require certain behaviors out of them, we allow them to show us their darkest places, their brightest places, and we get to see them in their most comfortable place. I mean, a robust, outward, expressive laugh is priceless, right? But you can't create that space without some honesty, without a little trust. But I'm seeing, Scorpio, that you're coming from a place of scarcity. You're coming from a place of fear. Now, I don't know if that is based on past with you, but I'm just seeing that in addition to all the other things that are going on, you're definitely not wanting to repeat lessons. Don't get frustrated and quit, because I feel like that's a habit that you have. We have the Five of Cups here, not enjoying what's in front of you because you want things to go back to the way they used to be. But anyway, this is a general idea of what's going on with how you're operating within your relationships, friendships, family, lovers, children, whatever. We do have the Empress card though too. So what I want to mention to you, Scorpio, is the Empress references time. And the only thing that you can do at this point is surrender and let things happen, let them unfold, let them be what they're going to be. You can't force a pregnancy. I always say you can't pick an apple in December. It's got to go through all the phases of development for it to be right for you to choose and enjoy. So I'm going to pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients, which I just mentioned. I thought I was done. And we will see what your divine message is for the week. All right, here we go. Dead center, Black Cat. Good luck. All right, let's see what Black Cat has to say for you. Hi, Phyllis. How's it going? Black Cat. Are you ready? Let's see. We're going to put non-ground glasses on. All right. I can see. All right, good luck. Today is your lucky day. You're on a winning streak and everything is going in favor of you. I know you don't feel that way right now. It says, don't lose a second by worrying about whether or not you should throw caution to the wind. Instead, draw on this good fortune and take advantage because your big break has arrived finally. And it's kind of a little contrary to what I was just talking about, but let's see what else it has to say. Because remember, I was saying that it's time for you to take evidence, and maybe that's what you've been doing, is collecting evidence, and it's time to take that leap. So don't be afraid to make the most of it. As the saying goes, make hay while the sun shines. So grab this fortuitous opportunity with both hands. By doing so, you are assured of the bountiful rewards that are waiting to be reaped. Lady Luck is on your side. No matter what you do, you just can't lose. Rest assured you will land on your feet just like a cat. Now go for it. Incantation, my luck has changed. Well, fancy that. As my path crossed with a black cat, and so I win in all I do, with feeling help my dreams come true. So if you are feeling as if you've done all of the research necessary and you feel like you've covered everything that Scorpio needs to cover in order to make a decision, then take that leap. Anyways, I'm Karma. Thank you for joining me, and stick around. You'll be seeing much, much more of me. If you want a one-on-one with Karma, karmaondeck.com, or reach out, karmaondeck702@gmail. Thank you. Namaste. And you guys have a lovely week. I will catch you on the flip side with some Sagittarius. So hang on tight.